West Virginia fans, what's winning taste like? Well, we're hungry. We haven't tasted that in quite a while. We're going to talk about winning. We're going to talk about coaching. We're going to talk about the quarterback situation. And I'm going to give you my wish list. So stay tuned. We're going to get sweaty and dirty on some college football. I don't know, guys. It's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
I was just going to type, hey, Caden, but here we are, guys. Tell you what's going on. West Virginia is going to be looking for a new coach. It's not a matter of if, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a matter of when. Now, Todd, you're right. So this is where I can swear, because this is my channel. So I can swear, I can cuss, and we can have a good time. So guys, listen here, check it out. I will bet dollars to donuts there's no way in hell that West Virginia fires Coach Brown this season. It's going to be the off season. It doesn't help the Mountaineers at all. It doesn't help them any way, shape, or form to fire him in the season, because you're going to pay him more, and then we'll get what? Who's the coach? Scott. What the hell is his name? Chad Scott. You get Chad Scott in here, and kids are going to be jumping ship, because as soon as that axe comes down, the transfer portal is going to open up and suck out all the studs, and we're going to be left with cupboards bare. So, definitely, yeah. It'll be after the last game of the year. So, it'll be around the same time all the portal stuff opens up, and I don't know all the portal rules because it changed. I just don't have the time and day to follow that shit. I'm not a lawyer. But I'm a fan. I'm a super fan. And let's talk about the herring in the room before I get to my list. I said on the show before that Curt Cignetti would be a dream pick, and he would be, if the Mountaineers would have hired him when he was 63. He's now 64. He's gonna be there with his kids and his family, or his family, his wife, in Indiana for a little while, especially if they're 7-0. You're 7-0. You are, heck, you're like Bobby Knight. I can't remember. I tried looking up when the last time Indiana was 7-0, and I got sick of going back 20 years. Didn't see any 7-0 starts. Did not see any 7-0 starts. I love Curt, but I don't think he's the man. We'll talk about that, but let's go to the chat. So, Caden, the man, 614. Lane Kiffin would be good. Would Lane Kiffin come to Morgantown? Boy, he's been passed around more than a freaking blow-up doll in a Marine boot camp. Lane Kiffin. I like him. But it's like getting a lap dance before last call from the busiest, hottest stripper in the bar. She's done having cramp. She's having some leg cramps. She has to eat a banana before she goes up there and rubs up on you. Ugh. Lane Kiffin ain't leaving Ole Miss. No, he's not leaving Ole Miss. It's that money, baby. They're paying him some bank. I'll have to look up exactly how much. But so, kids, we're here on Mountaineer Mafia. So I've been consistent every Tuesday having the show. I was trying to have it Fridays, but my kid plays high school ball. This week's the last game, and then I'll be back on Fridays again. So bear with me this week. Next week, we're going to have 2 shows for sure. Absolutely. So what about the Duke's coach? He is 6-1. Yes, Duke beat Florida State. Yes, Florida State has a lot of losses, but still, Duke beat Florida State. That happened, right? That happened. So let's talk about some deep thoughts, like, get the magic 8 ball, ask it some questions. I don't know. I'm going to shit on Pitt a little bit. Let's do the segment shit on Pitt. So I live in North Pittsburgh. The news maybe talks about it for 15 seconds, at night, but papers aren't talking about it. I'm not hearing on 93.7 The Fan. They're not talking about Pitt. If West Virginia was 7-0, you couldn't shut us up about it. Just saying. Where's the fan base? So, even though Pitt is 6-0, they can eat. They're still eating shit because they're just not getting any love. They're just terrible. Hey, Kelly McCourt. So Kelly won a hat on our Steelers Dynasty podcast, which we'll be having going on at 10 o'clock with Big Bad Bubba Brewer. Bubba Brewer owns a wrestling company and was a wrestler. He wrestled the likes of Jake the Snake, George Animal Steel. Laundry list of studs he wrestled during his heyday. So Bad Bubba Brewer and myself are going to be talking about the Steelers. And your boy, watch me nerd out, Beanie Bishop is going to be my pick. I'm going to just, we rate the top 3 studs of the last week for the Steelers. And Beanie Bishop is going to be he's going to be 1 through 3. He's had 2 interceptions, a tackle for a loss, and 6 tackles total. He was a stud. He won that game. Screw Russ Wilson. Beanie Bishop won that game. Our very own West Virginia Golden Blue Beanie Bishop. So, yeah, you could not shut us up if we were 7-0. I would be like getting my paper in my underwear and just like I have West Virginia Tourette's. 7-0. 7-0. Fuck you, Pitt. 7-0. That's what I'd be doing. 7-0. 7-0. You know who's 7-0? We're 7-0. That's what I'd be saying. Couldn't shut me up. So, we're going to talk a little bit about. Let's talk about Neil Brown. Yeah, I can get quiet. He's barely over 500, okay? And in the conference, he's basically 22-26, right? When you lose to both Pennsylvania programs, Pitt and Penn State, in the same year, fans are going to be grabbing their pitchforks. Here, I just have a fork. And they're going to be grabbing torches. And they're going to be chasing you through the streets like you're Frankenstein. They're going to be pissed. Now, there are reports leaking out saying that Brown is done. Brown is done. Now, I tailgate in a lot. I'm not going to tell you what lot I tailgate in, but in order to be in that lot, I can't afford to have a spot. But you have to donate some big money. And with big money comes big mouths, and they also have kind of the pulse of what's going on in the organization. These big time alumni, and the scuttlebutt is it's going to happen at the end of the season. He's going to be done, and done. Okay, man. What high hopes do we have? We had high hopes. So let's keep those high hopes. Those penthouse dreams, but outhouse budget. We're going to talk about that. Because Jordan Leslie and Coach Brown are singing the praise of, oh my gosh, we gave up almost 580 yards, and you're saying we did so good against the run. And if you're talking about that and you lost, you shouldn't even bring up that stat. Just say, listen, we lost. We need to do better. You used to say stuff like that. You used to take ownership. But I don't know what the hell happened. But Arizona's losing their biggest, one of their best defensive players. He leads the team in tackles. Manu. So he's going to be out. But West Virginia is losing Millam. He's out for injury. But I'm getting to my list, guys. Just bear with me. Let's go to chat real quick, and then we'll get to my list. Kelly McCourt. Lane Kiffin gets $9 million a year at Ole Miss. Yeah, we're not spending $9 million. 5, 6, maybe is about what West Virginia can spend. Neal is a good guy, but not a great coach. Yes, absolutely. What I would love for him to coach high school ball, maybe some ball at Middle Tennessee State, Marshall, right? He's still young too. He's not an old guy. So 10 years, he might be killing it. He might be in the Big Ten. You don't know. Why do I say that? Well, double B. Bobby Bowden. Right? Mountaineer fans ran him out of town in the 70s. Then we had Kurt's dad, Frank Signetti. And then we got Neal Brown. Or not Neal Brown, but Coach Nealon. So Neal Brown might be like a Bobby Bowden. You never know. It's going to break my heart if that happens. But you can't be the guinea pig for his coaching, for him to break his, or the chew toy for Coach Brown to break his teeth in on until he reaches his coaching second puberty and gets back hair and ear hairs, right? Mark Stoops from Kentucky. Todd, I like that thought. But Kentucky and West Virginia, even though they're about right like this, a coach isn't going to leave an SEC program for a Big 12 program, I don't think. You'd have to offer them a lot of money. But Kentucky, they're playing ball. That's a great pick, Todd. I love it. That's a good one. Let me find my list here, guys. Let's see my list. My list. Okay. So I'm going to run through some names, and you're going to tell me if you think they're great or if they suck. And then we'll talk about who would be the interim coach if he was to be, and he's not going to be fired midseason. Would probably be Chad Scott. So an article came out by Brad Smith, who is a friend of the shows that I'm on. We had him on a couple weeks ago, and he is no fan of Neal Brown, but he states that he's a perfect interim coach for West Virginia because the kids love him. He'd be able to add stability, right? And that would be only if Brown just flat out resigned, which he's not going to do that because he wants to get his money, right? He wants to get that cashola. So you got, oh my gosh, guys, this is crazy. Man, I'm going to give you my favorite. No, I'm not. Because we can talk about him. Liberty's coach is my favorite, guys. I'm not going to hide it. He's probably my favorite, but he's not brought into the conversation. I haven't heard any rumors. Jackson Johnson stated on the last show he hasn't heard any rumors. And that guy has the pulse of college football. If you don't know, Jackson Johnson works for the Voice. Not for the Voice, my gosh. He works for he helps Joey and and me, and he's just a great guy. Big Alabama fan, and he has a show called The Jacksonian. So the number one wish for everyone, I'm sure, on this chat would be Jimbo Fisher. Okay? He's not old, because I know we talked about Nick Saban, but that's like wishing for Santa Claus to come and be your coach, right? And old Saban is 72. Okay? 72 and 58 are completely different because Jimbo Fisher's 58. Okay? Jimbo already has $76 million over the next 7 years. So he's getting like 1.8 million a year for the next 7 years. Or not 1.8. My God, I can't do math. 10.8. And he could be persuaded to come home. He has family here. He's 128 and 48. He has a .727 winning percentage. That's fantastic. 8-2 in bowl games. Natty won a Natty in 2014 from Clarksburg. So he likes Italian food, right? He's from Clarksburg. I wouldn't be shocked if Ren Baker hasn't reached out to him already. People at Texas A&M are batshit crazy. He was 45 and 28 in the SEC. If he's 45 and 25 in the Big 12, you're a top-tier program in the Big 12. Compared to what? Being just above 500 by one game for Brown. So he is now. He brings a little bit of I don't know. There's some things that he's done that people have problem with, but I think overall he's a good dude. Right? Nobody's perfect. But I think Jimbo is number one on my list. Yes, Jamey Chadwell. He would be fantastic, but I don't think they've. So Chadwell at Liberty is making $4 million a year, and I think he loves it there. I don't think he's coming here. Same with Kirk Cignetti. But Jamey would be ahead of Jimbo for me. But Jimbo's not working right now. And Jimbo has that money. It's like the Steelers getting Russell Wilson, So that's a good. That'd be a good pickup for them. Yeah, Jimbo's 58. He'd be a good guy. Another one here. This is one that's not talked about very much. This guy owned West Virginia the past couple of years when he was an offensive coordinator at Kansas. And then he went to Penn State, and they're actually scoring some points. He's a heavy-set guy, doesn't look very fit, doesn't present himself well as a coach, I don't think. But he's smart. Football IQ is off the charts. Andy Kotelnicki, baby. Andy Kotelnicki. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. If I say it like 3 times, maybe I'll get it right. So Kotelnicki, when he was at Kansas, their offense was explosive. It was one of the top 10, maybe 12, I don't know, in the country. Averaging, 10% of their plays were just big plays, right? He went to Penn State. gave that Nittany Lion offense a kick in the ass that it needed. He's not an old guy. I think he's in his late 40s. He'd be a good pick. Another guy would be Tony Gibson. Everybody loves Tony Gibson. You know, he has ties back to Morgantown, right? Those are my top picks. Maybe Dan Mullen might be one, but I don't know. But absolutely, guys, I want to thank everybody for being in here, talking some college football, West Virginia style. I want to know from you guys, what do you think of this season? What's the record going to be? I'm going to give you my pick here in a minute. Does West Virginia pull it out in Arizona? I'm back and forth on what I think is going to happen. I picked West Virginia to lose 2 weeks ago. I picked them to turn it around and win against Kansas State. Picked them to lose at Iowa State and to win against Kansas State. Of course, that didn't happen. I have a feeling that if Garrett Green starts, West Virginia is going to make a change at the half again. Because if Garrett Green really is hurt, doesn't get 100% health, I think Nico's the best chance to win. So let's just say Nico goes in. It's going to be 24-17 West Virginia. I'm going to pick them to win. I picked them to win last week, and they didn't even come close, guys. They laid an egg. If they could right the ship, West Virginia has a chance. Still have like a slim chance to make it to the Big 12 championship. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Nope. That's not going to happen. But Kelly McCord, Todd, who else we have on here? Caden the Man, Jackson Johnson. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're going to be building this channel up a little bit. I haven't been spending as much time as I need to. I've been spending more time on the Voice of College Football. But we're going to be here every Tuesday night, every Friday night, and we're going to talk college football. Friday nights, we're going to talk about games that I think are going to be good. Talk about maybe what other podcasts are doing in the West Virginia world. You know, so everybody have a great Tuesday, and I will talk to you soon. Let's go Mountaineers.